Now it will take a couple of hours for this 5-minute epoxy to really set up the way it's supposed to. And I'm not going to rush it. But that feels really solid. All right, let's see if I can get this other screw out. I'm really close to the screw. This hole. What I really need are needle nose vice grips, and I don't own a pair. I hate that sound. You just know you're ruining that tool. Oh, the screw has moved. Yeah. There it is. Now I've got a big old holes on both sides. I was hoping to use the same size dowel that cut the hole, but that's not going to be the case. So ideally there wouldn't have been a screw in there, but there was. I used the tendon cutter that I had, and it was the same size as the dowel, but because it wasn't in a vise, it kept moving. So best case scenario is to have a dowel the right size, and I don't have that. So I'm use this little square piece of cherry I have to whittle down in there. To fill in that gap. Now the beauty of this is going to be behind the brace once everything gets put back together, so it won't be seen, and if it is seen, it won't be seen by much. And this isn't going to go into the White House or anything, so it's going back to the barn, and it will make it easier to sit in again. Well, there you go. I've gone too far. So now I've got to cut this off, start again. That is the kind of fit I like. Don't think it's very deep though. But for this, I'll use Titebond 2. It's going to be out in the barn, so it will have some moisture around it, especially in the winter, but it's in the part of the barn that is, in theory, dry. This is a little saw I have abused for years. It has a flat set of teeth so that there's no set, so it shouldn't scratch that side. I know it looks bad, but it still cuts. Kinda. Well, I couldn't ask for anything better than that. All right, let's try the next one. Looks like I need to take a day and sharpen my tools. I think that's tape. No, it's epoxy. All right, here's for the moment of truth. And the problem here is, I hope you can see, let me look here. In the assembly process, these uprights would have been put in first. Well, it's already assembled. I only have to go about a quarter of an inch at the most to get that started, but man, it's a lot when you're in a situation like this. Close. Ah, I felt it go in. All right. So I have it leaned up against my bench. This angle looks right, kind of. And I just need to drive it home. Tell you what, this chair hasn't been this solid in years. Man, I am just about there. Now, I didn't put any glue on that joint because I'll probably be fixing this again. And I know that if I had glued that joint, it would have been a mess. So, turn it over and get those wedges in. So before I put the wedges in, I've decided to go ahead and secure this. This screw does not have a slot in it, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. I'm going to drill a small pilot hole. Because I don't want this screw to break off. I don't know what kind of screws these are. They were with my granddaughter's play set, and they seem to be pretty strong. They are not brass, but they look like brass. Here are the two wedges I took out. I see no reason to try to make new ones. The gaps on both sides are about the same, but this one is a little bit thinner, but these are the same size. So I will glue these. If you build an axe handle, I think you're only supposed to glue on one side, but I'm not going to be taking these out anytime soon. I hope. Difficult place to reach with a hammer. I feel good about that one. I feel good about that one. And since there was a screw in there, I'm going to go ahead and put another screw just like the one I put in. Not a sheetrock screw. Try this one. All right.